I've spent my whole life comparing with other people, and it always makes me feel good or bad. This is Beth Lee in the Koinonia Kitchen, and I'm talking with my friend Lee Kimball. Hey Lee, why do you always say identify, don't compare?
How are we the same? Not how are we different? It's a connection thing.
Okay, help me connect instead of separate.
Yep.
Okay, identification will let me recognize my own feelings by listening to you talk about your feelings. I'm not always good at knowing how I feel. You know, that took a little while for me to come to the party and understand what I was really feeling. And it helped me when I heard someone else talk and I could say, oh, I've been there. I identify with what they're saying. I've felt like that before. I just didn't know what to call it.
Well, one of the great gifts of identification is, especially in any sort of recovery situation, is when you listen to these other people sharing and I identify, I know for certain that they have been where I have been. Okay, they didn't learn it in a book. Somebody didn't tell them about it, because they are sharing it with an accuracy that could only have come from experience. And so, number one, it makes me feel not so alone. I'm not alone. And number two, it gives me hope, because they're talking about where I am or where the individual is, and I can see that they're not there anymore.
Yeah. Well, it tells you you're in the right place, too.
You're not alone. And at that point, too, so many times people are looking for reasons not to connect.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Sometimes there's a history that got forgotten. And I might remember the incident, but I don't remember how it made me feel. And then when someone else shares a similar incident, well, the incident might be completely different, but the feelings that they got from the incident, I can touch base with that, and that can help me heal. Because sometimes the wounds in my soul are there still, and they're festering because I can't even identify them. So when somebody else opens up, I'm able to kind of dig through my own garbage and get to a place where I can uncover and expose what was broken so many years ago. And that begins a healing process that will pay dividends in my future.
And it can help me see past lies, some lies that I'm trying to tell myself. I can remember once I got involved with a young lady, and I was told it's not a good idea. It often doesn't work out. And our response was, you don't understand. We're different. Okay. And that's the opposite of identification, because when I'm able to identify, I'm able to see I'm not different and I am understood.
Yes. Yes. You know, we hear solutions that worked with other people. And sometimes their solutions they may not give me an idea of what exactly to do, but I know what the next step is.
And it can give you hope.
Yeah. But just one step. I'm a step closer to not being where I was, because I'm going to at least talk to someone about it, or I'm going to, open your mind to something they did. It could be going for therapy. It could be reading a book. It could be working the steps. It could be whatever they just said. And it opens my mind to the possibility that could work for me too. That's hope with a real mission behind it.
I have a dear friend that speaks of it had gotten to the point in their life where they had to go into recovery, and they were in a rehab situation, and an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting came in from the outside. And this was in the Connecticut area, and the meeting group was from Greenwich, which is known to be a somewhat affluent area. And she said she looked at these people in their little polo shirts and their Docksiders and thought to herself, what could I possibly have in common with them? And proceeded to watch one of the women stand up and, as she puts it, tell her story.
Wow.
Yeah.
And and all the money and all the outside stuff melted away
And
because
there was
the inside stuff
identification.
was shared. That's beautiful. So, identification allows us to recognize our own feelings, our forgotten history, and when we identify with a person, we get to do the work of recovery without staring into a magnifying mirror. I'm not worse than everybody else. I'm not better than everybody else. I take away that embellishment. For some reason, the dishonesty part of living before I got to 12-step was there was a lot of nevers and always and more and less. I don't have to have those words anymore. I'm just another person seeking a better way of life.
You mentioned dishonesty, and one of the key things too is it can help develop trust. Mm-hmm. Because I can remember at one point in my life working with a fellow, and at that point in my life I didn't trust anybody. I couldn't trust myself, and in our back and forth exchanges, I would tell him a little bit about me, he would tell me a little bit about him, and back and forth. And I learned, and I grew through the identification, I grew to trust him because I knew he had been where I was.
Yeah. Identification. It's a skill, it's a opening, it's an opportunity. And I love that it brings hope. Yeah. Hold on, pain ends. It's time to take addiction out of the shadows and shine the encouraging light of recovery on everyone affected. Good Seed Podcast is powered by BethWE.com, a nonprofit ministry based in Vero Beach, Florida. We'll start the uncomfortable conversations that turn despair into hope and complacency into action. Connect, communicate, and thrive with us. Check us out online at BethWE.com. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk again soon.